Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you how to create this cool potion switch in Figma. First of all, create a frame and set the height to 100 and the width to around 260. Then set the corner radius to 100 so it's nice and round. And then we want to give it a little gradient just to make it a little bit darker on the background. So I'm going for like a dark blues and dark purples for the first frame. Just adjust it until you're happy with yours. Then I'm going to add a drop shadow just to give it a kind of beveled effect. So I'm using a darker shadow to the bottom and I'll add a lighter one to the top just to add a kind of light reflection on it. For the top shadow, I'm going to give it a purple color just to match the frame so it kind of blends more in with the background. And then I'm going to give it a stroke which is white, and it's going to be around 15% opacity and a stroke of 2. Now we can start creating our potion bottle. So just start off by creating a circle and a rectangle and position at the top and kind of have like the kind of roundish potion jar look. Then just add a little lip to the top, which is where the cork's going to go. And just give that a corner radius around 12 just to smoothen out the edges and just get that to look how you want it to look. Next, select your jar and add a gradient to it. I'm going to go for a radial gradient and just try and get the nice light effect. The best color to use for a jar like this would be kind of like light grayish blues and indigo colors to give that light effect. So at the minute, I'm just adjusting my lighting to get it right first, and then I'll start adding my color. Keep playing around with these until you're happy with how it looks. I think that's right. So we want to select the inner circle and just paste it over the top of your jar. And this is going to kind of be a reflection on the bottom. So just get this to a size you like and then change it to a darker color and maybe even duplicate that again and create a little circle to the top left for a light reflection. I'm just going to change the color to a gradient on this and flip it around, so it looks more like it's reflecting the floor. You can then set the blend properties to here. I'm going to go for darken on this one, so it just changes the color to how I want it to look, and I'm going to change the light fraction to lighten. Then I'm going to copy the circle again, and this is going to be our liquid container. So here you can see this is where the liquid will live. Just drag that into your frame to see how it looks, and then I'll just take that again, so carry on editing it. So the orange circle is going to be our frame for the liquid. And for the liquid, just create a few squares and circles, merge them together, and then we can start adding the corner radius to round it out a little bit to have more of a liquidy flow. Just keep doing this for a little bit until you've got kind of wave style, and then just resize it to the size you need. It's always good to add a rectangle to the bottom just to give it a bit more height without affecting your curves. And you can just adjust that till it works and then merge them together. And then you've got your liquid base. So if you select your container and drag your liquid over the top of it and click and select user's mask or create mask, then the liquid will sit inside that little bubble nicely, giving the effect of like a liquid moving around the jar. I just adjust that to make it seem a bit more realistic, and adjust the colors to maybe I'm going for like an orange and yellow, which is going to be the first color of the potion, which will eventually change once the user clicks the toggle. Now that I'm happy with the liquid, I'm going to create the cork by using a rectangle, round out a little bit, and just set it to a kind of brown corky color. I'm going to add a little gradient to that just to give it a bit of shadow to match the jar. Put it behind your glass and set the glass's opacity to about 75% so you can see that cork through. I was got a few little dots in here to make the cork seem a little bit more realistic. Not necessary, but it just makes it a little bit more fun. Just going to keep adding them dots. Group them and just pop them behind the glass again, and your cork's done. Now just group up your potion bottle and name it to potion. Now it's ready to drag into the frame, and just position it so your circle is centered. Once you've centered the circle nicely, just duplicate frame by alt and clicking and dragging, and give it a little turn of like 45 degrees and just make sure that circle is still centered. You can then click into the liquid and rotate it to keep it straight, so gravity is always pointing down, and move the liquid across inside its mask. Duplicate that again, and then you can pull the potion all the way over to the right, say as the left, so it's going to twist as it moves. Make sure the liquid's always facing up, and you can set the color to, I'm going to go for greens and blues for this one. And just adjust the colors of the background to make it a little bit darker because it's dark mode. Then just make sure your liquid's straight and pull it over to give a waving effect. Duplicate that again, set your bottle straight. Remember to adjust the liquid again and pull that liquid over. Once you're happy with your styles, we can select all of these frames and turn them into a component set. Then if you go to the create a frame and you go to your assets, click through the local assets and drag in your new potion asset. Now we can set up prototyping. So first of all, grab the first potion and set that to on hover and set it to gentle animation and 450 milliseconds. That'll make it nice and bouncy. Select both of the top ones again and drag it down to the bottom potion switch and set that to on click and make it about 750 milliseconds and gentle again. Click that potion to hover so it rotates again, and then select both for click and set it to 750. Now we should have an animated switch that looks something like this. Now that this is almost done, we can add a little lighting effect to the bottom. So just go in and create a circle below the potion bottle. And we want to set this to a radial gradient of the same color as the potion to give it a kind of glow at the bottom. So just go radial and choose a color from the potion bottle. Set the second gradient to 0, and then we just slap that behind the potion bottle and just copy and paste that across to different frames. Make sure it's always behind. And then for your darker color, you want to pull that in and change the color to the potion color that's used there. If you're changing colors quite often or you've got strong gradients, be sure to change the color of the glow to match whatever color is taking over the most of the potion bottle. Now, once you're happy with that, preview again, and you should have a fully working potion switch